All right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you so much to everyone. I really, really appreciate you guys coming up here. Thank you so much to everyone. 15 people watching thus far. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello to my girl Les. I logged on a little while ago. Les had sent this message a few hours ago. So thank you so much if you're still here. To good evening to a good 24. Yes, make sure that everyone who comes in, make sure that you say hello. Where's my say hello button? Where's my hello button? Oh yeah. Let's see. Make sure you say hello so I can acknowledge you. Nick, happy Sunday. Peace and blessings to all. Thank you so much. Hello to Miss Jamie Goss. Uh, hello from Atlanta, Tiffany Moore. Hello. Listen, I met more Tiffany's from from Atlanta. It's like that's like the common name down there, isn't it? Okay, my girl. Thank you so much. Blue Sapphire. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Stacy Dillard Pagan. Thank you so much. Hello to everyone else who's going to watch this and all that, all that, all that. So I do have a few videos that I want to talk to or get through. So I do want to answer your questions and certainly fire them through if anybody has any questions. I figure I'd do a session like this so people can ask me their questions. One day I want to do a reaction to some comment section stuff because I get some good stuff in the comment section. I think everyone should share it. Hello from Chicago, Donita Philpott. Hello. Good evening from Seattle. Seattle. I've been to Seahawks. No, yeah, I went to a Seahawks game out there. My son was stationed out there in Tacoma in the military, so I went to visit him, and he took me to a Seahawks game. So it was a great time. I liked it out there. Hello, Big L Deborah. Uh, hello. What's up? What up, good brother? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everything is good on my end. Thanks for tuning in. Men and women can ask the questions. Obviously, got more ladies in my comment section and all that, which is fine. I'm going to try to answer some questions. So first question up. I do want to play some videos. Some of them we're going to laugh at. Some of them just trying to show what's out there. And I do have some videos before. I do have some videos coming out that is specifically targeted toward men. But if you have any videos, make sure you email them to me. Some people do that already. You can send them to me. If you have not joined the Facebook page, you can join that as well. And you can send me videos there. We kind of go over, discuss, talk about whatever's whatever. First question is, I'm just answering this question because of its phrasing. First question, Big D, why can't men leave women alone who has made it very clear in her profile that she's Christian and not interested in sex with anyone before marriage when after all that they are after is sex? So just call me Big L, and people might think that we're doing something. Call me Big D. So men are hunters. That's just the bottom line. Men are hunters, and they're going to hunt, pursue, and go after. And they think it's a challenge. They consider it a challenge to go after things that seem to be out of reach. And if it's a notch in their belt, and it's seen as a trophy to them. When and if they can get someone to act and do things that are outside of what they say they would do. So when you put up those type of parameters, you might see it as a stop, but many men, it's seen as, all right, this is a hill I got to climb. This is a mountain I got to climb. I mean, that's just the way that we are. So, um, but you got to be disciplined in who you are. I actually recorded a video today. It's going to be coming out. I got like 10 videos that are like in the queue, so they'll be released every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for next couple weeks. So, but that one is coming up, talking about ladies holding their ground in a few weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see. So that was that question. What a good brother. Hello from Texas. What part of Texas? Oh, I know where you're from. Never mind. I see woman to woman. Thank you so much. Because either they think they can change your mind or you're not serious. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's pretty much it. They're trying to get at you. Right. They're gonna try. Hey, misunderstood. Thank you so much. I'm Ophelia Kelly. Hi there. I have a best friend and he promised me to marry me and he canceled it. I have a best friend and he promised me to marry me and he canceled it. He said He can't marry me because my husband was his best friend. He broke my heart after 8 years together. Okay, I might need some more clarification on that. You married or what was going on with that? Absolutely. Anytime. Can we say this for the question for later? I want to get to a couple of videos. Remind me, Miss Tiffany. I want to get to that question, and that's a good question. I want to get to that one later. I recently subscribed. I appreciate your insight. Thank you so much. Thanks. There's very few men that will marry you without any sex at all. Yeah, I definitely think that's true. All right, so we're gonna push through a couple of videos. First one is, we'll run through this one first. This one is and just give me a one just let me know I'm not playing the whole thing, that I can hear it. It's not on yet. But the first one is, I think it's a skit, but it may not be. Somebody was supposedly recording at a restaurant, and this is showing what's out there. And there's so much to break down and talk about in this particular video, because I'm looking at it from a male perspective, like there's something wrong with this brother. but let's play the video. We can talk about it.
Refused to pay for her friend meal. These ladies are mad because the guy refused to pay for her friend meal. Who wrong? Now you keep it real.
Weird ass nigga. Like, I swear to God, like, this song, like, going out with your ass. It's always fucking fun because you be on that weird ass shit. You only bring somebody with you. No, nigga, I don't trust you. I don't give a fuck. We've been talking for 4 years and your ass is still weird as fuck. This song never gonna work by my motherfucking self with your ass. I swear to God, I don't got time for you.
You gonna hear it?
You gonna pay for her food, you gonna pay for whatever the fuck I order. You gonna pay for what I order.
This is embarrassing, honey. We done already ate and everything. Like, I can pay for my own fucking food, but this is ridiculous. Like, you don't invite somebody and I pay for their tab.
Like, the audacity of you.
This is why you don't date bald-headed ass niggas. This is real mid.
I'm ready to go. That's why I don't like being around your ass. You always got so much going on.
I told you quit fucking with his bald-headed ass. I told you.
All right, I'm assuming everybody heard that, right? Give me a one. I hope I didn't play all that. Nobody could hear it. Everybody heard that, right? Okay, very good. Okay, so if it was not a skit, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Wow, right? So from a male perspective, here's what I saw. I saw a guy who didn't have a backbone, who allowed a woman to, not only that he was dating her for 4 years, if you didn't catch that, they were together for 4 years, supposedly, if this is not a skit, together for 4 years. After 4 years, whatever they're doing, whatever kind of arrangement they had, she felt comfortable enough to bring somebody else, tag him onto his tab, just completely being disrespectful. And then, of course, at the end of it, she had so much respect for being with this man for 4 years. Of course, this can be analyzed so many different ways and for a long time, that she knocks his hat off and reveals his problems with his hair or whatever he had going on with that. So I want to know you guys' opinion. I missed some of the live. Oh no, well, I'm here. I can't wait to learn. Okay. So I'll play it again so you guys can, double wow. I'll play it again so we can see it again and just try to take in all that, whatever perspective you watched it from the first time. Here's what I'll say. If you watch it from the male's perspective, because I primed you for that, then watch it from the female's perspective. And if you watch it from the lady's perspective, watch it from the male's perspective. So just whatever perspective you watch it from the first time, just watch it again and we'll play it again. Sir, you knew what you had before this incident. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right. Exactly. For 4 years. You're absolutely right, Glorious Love.
These ladies are mad because the guy refused to pay for her friend meal.
Now look what they're wearing, right? It's not a skit, right? Somebody's obviously videoing it. Look what they're wearing. Jesus.
Who wrong? Now you keep it real.
weird ass nigga. Like, I swear to God, like, this song, like, going out with your ass is always fucking fun because you be on that weird ass shit. You know, bringing somebody with you. So, nigga, I don't trust you. I don't give a fuck. We've been talking for 4 years and your ass is still weird as fuck. This song never gonna work by my motherfucking self with your ass. I swear to God, I don't got time for you.
If your food, I'm not gonna pay for it.
You gonna pay for her food, you gonna pay for whatever the fuck I order.
I'm not gonna pay for it.
You gonna pay for what I order.
This is embarrassing, honey. We done already ate and everything. Like, I could pay for my own fucking food, but this is ridiculous. Like, you don't invite somebody and I pay for their tab.
Like, the audacity of you.
This is why you don't date bald-headed ass niggas. 'Cause this is like, this is real mid.
I'm ready to go. That's why I don't like being around your ass. She always got so much going on.
I told you quit fucking with his bald-headed ass. I told you.
This is what happens when you have a man with no spine, no backbone. You lay down boundaries. 4 years you've been dealing with, exactly as you all have been saying in the comment section. You know that this man is just straight trash. I mean, he's to a certain level. These ladies are what they are. It's obviously not the first time that she's put so-called her mouth on him. So this is definitely problematic to a certain degree, you know, and it's just wild to me that anybody would just deal with that, you know. So just crazy. Some comments. This is disrespectful. They're all trash. The disrespectful way she curses at him. Listen, that's why when I told you, I don't deal with that, right? You do not swear at me. Do not swear at me, right? But this guy doesn't have any of that. He doesn't have any confidence. He's simply just a paycheck, obviously, right? He's out there paying for this girl, paying for them. This is giving Skip vibes. If not, the women were trash, disrespectful. I agree. The friend had to invite her, not the guy. I'm sure that the friend did invite her. These women today are shameless. This is going to be one of my questions. Why do men talk out of both sides of their mouth? They say that they won't deal with women who act like this, but look, I think this is the answer to your question, Glorious Love. This is why they're doing it. They're dealing with this because of the a recent term I heard, the sugar box. So he wants continued access to the sugar box. So therefore, he's going to put up with this type of disrespect. This man, I would bet, is probably, and I'm not trying to clown anybody's job, but this man probably is some type of lower wage worker, maybe 50, 60, 70,000, somewhere along those lines. No confidence, got something going on with his head, and he just takes that type of thing. That just takes that type. Probably the amount that I was saying is probably lower than that, probably 30, 40. Just nothing but, and she's just allowing him to abuse her like that. No shade to anybody. However much you make, but he just don't have the confidence. He don't have a backbone. He don't have a spine. He just accepts this type of behavior. And it's only a certain type of guy who's going to deal with that certain type of woman, right? That was a good question. If this is not as good as Shameful All the Way, definitely no confidence. There are a million other sugar boxes. Yeah, there are another. Yeah, well, what's something like how many sugar boxes on the planet? It's 8 billion people, right? It's more women, right? 4 billion. I mean, you got the of age and all that kind of stuff, right? So probably at least 2 billion others, 1.5 billion or 2 billion others that are of age and competent and all that other kind of stuff you got to take into consideration. So, why he's choosing to deal with that one is a tough question, right? Let's see. And this is why we continue to have bonquishes, because men will continue to accept this. Absolutely. Skit or no skit things, these things do happen, and it needs to be exposed so the other can hopefully change and be aware. Well, that's a great point. We got to change and be aware. Okay, next video, then I'll play another video. I got a couple more, and then I'll get to you guys' questions. So if you have any questions, or if anybody wants to come up as well, I will certainly drop the link, and you guys can join. You can ask your question either in the chat box, or you can. Oh my God, there's something. Oh my God. My cat is running around here like she's crazy. I will drop the link so you guys can come up. So next video, here we go. Wait a minute. This is not playing. Oh, wait, here.
Y'all men want to propose. Y'all men want to be leaders. We want to be leaders too. Yup. Y'all men want to get money. We want to get money too. Money. Y'all men want to pay the bills. We want to pay the bills too. Y'all men want to propose. Hell, we want to get on one knee and propose too. Whoa. It's time for us women to stand up. Don't touch me. Oh shit. It's time for us women to take the lead. It's time for us women to pay for the first date. It's time for us to mow the lawn. It's time for us to do PSA to all you men. Us women, we tired of getting disrespected. That's right. Y'all men want to be leaders. We want to be leaders too. Yup. Y'all men want to get money. We want to get money too. Money. Y'all men want to pay the bills. We want to pay the bills too. Y'all men want to propose. Hell, we want to get on one knee and propose too. Whoa. It's time for us women to stand up. Don't touch me. Oh shit. It's time for us women to take the lead. It's time for us women to pay for the first date. It's time for us to mow the lawn. It's time for us to do PSA to all you men.
All right. Thoughts? You can jump up if you like. Anybody wants to come into the chat. What are your thoughts? This is obviously a skit, but you got so this is a lot of things that ladies are dealing with, right? You want to be bosses, you want to advance, but why is it that there seems to be a lot of quiet and silence and crickets going on here when it comes time to proposing, comes times to leading and all the other type of stuff? Run, just say no. As a girl, I said what men are talking about, and it's not pretty. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a video about men, about men and their needing to take more leadership roles, because I'm seeing that there is a certain definite issue that is going on with this type of environment, when men just don't know how to be leaders. They just don't know how to be leaders. So that is a video that I'm going to be doing. I'll try to release it like maybe Tuesday or Thursday. So let's see. Just say no. Let's see. This skit is funny and real at the same time. Yeah. It was quiet. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Another video here. We'll play. Let's see. This is a video that I wanted to play before. And I talked about step parent stuff, and I couldn't find it. And lo and behold, I had saved it into my own personal Facebook. Saved it into the reels. So I'm thinking this is a skit, but it may not be. But anyway, this is a young lady. This is a lady and a guy having a conversation, and the woman is checking this guy about becoming a stepfather. So if you're not sure about why guys don't want to become stepfathers these days, well, this may be it. Again, I don't know if this is a skit or not, but here we go.
But you don't have to tell her anything. That's the whole point. You don't have to tell her nothing.
So if I see her doing something, you just say, just leave it.
You're dealing with me. You mess with me, I mess with you. You don't mess with my kids. Okay? That's not the relationship we got. You hear from me. Don't say shit she got that. You ain't gonna say shit to her. You ain't gonna say nothing to her.
I ain't trying to be a daddy. I just...
What are you talking about? You ain't trying to get her there. Don't tell her nothing yet.
I was trying to get her not to disrespect you. You do something.
I don't have you to come in here to talk to them. I'm not asking for them to have a father figure. That's not what I'm asking. No, what?
That's
I already told him that your daddy already know what's going on.
Oh, now you gonna listen up. That bust on.
Listen, what the hell you mean to bust a man? That's my baby daddy. What are you talking about? He's still in her life. I'm not a single mother. I got somebody who wants to take care of her. Her dad.
Really?
I didn't never tell you that you had to step in to be her father.
I'm not trying to be
Okay, but then no, because I didn't ask you. Hell yeah, he's supposed to. That's his child. Look at what you mean.
Shit. A relationship y'all got, he can just come in with
A relationship where we co-parent. We don't need another man coming in doing anything for her.
I ain't trying to do anything for her.
You sound crazy. You are. You ain't got to tell her nothing. You don't have to enforce no rules that I have already applied. Me and her dad got that. Go ahead and finish doing what you're doing. Shit, me and her dad got that. But you don't have to tell her anything. That's the whole point. You don't got to tell her nothing.
woman who is.
All right. So, as you can see, right. So again, this is problematic on a number of levels. You can see that she's chewing this guy out, telling him, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. I got it. Me and the dad got it. I don't need you to be a father. I don't need you to be a stepfather. I just need you to deal with me. More than likely, what I need you for is just to be paying the bills. And that's it. And that's it. So, and then she's chewing him out. As you can see here, she's chewing him out in front of the little girl. So if you see the little girl, who's obviously of teenage age, 12, 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there, she's going to get the idea it's okay to talk to your man like that. What are they arguing about? So he told either this little girl, he being the guy, told the little girl something, or to one of her other kids. I don't know how many kids she had. I got this off of Facebook, so I don't have a lot of detail and context and all that. All we can see is you can see whoever put this on the screen, and I hate when people do that, right? She told him to stay in his place. Should he be able to say something as the stepfather? I don't know if they're married or not, or they just cohabitate, live together, but she made it very, very plain and clear. I don't need you for that. Me and the baby's father got it, and you need to stay in your place. Don't tell her anything, and you just, in essence, shut up and keep paying the bills, and you deal with me, and me and her daddy got it. Again, you want to know why these types of generational type of curses continue to go on? It's because she is talking all this craziness in front of this little girl, and she's going to get in her head, this is how you deal with and talk to men. Now that I think about it, this is a second week man video that I played. so don't ever say I don't do anything to show about men. Here's a second week man video that I played. This is to Jamie's point here, right? Be a leader. Be able to carry it, girl. The background girls should have shut their mouth ignorant much earlier. It was a skit. Yeah, talking about the other one. But this one,
Look at what you mean.
You gotta be a leader.
Shit, relationship y'all got, he can just come in with
A relationship where we co-parent. We don't need another man coming in doing anything for her.
I ain't trying to do anything for her.
You sound crazy. You are. You ain't gotta tell her nothing. You don't have to enforce no rules that I have already applied.
I see her doing something.
Me and her dad got that. Go ahead and finish doing what you're doing. Shit, me and her dad got that. But you don't have to tell her anything. That's the whole point. You don't have to tell her nothing.
So that's that one. Let me get. These are real life in the hood, and it's not the skit to me. Yeah, well, it's probably not a skit, but you never know these days. So who's sitting around just videotaping? Maybe the fight broke out and somebody decided to argue. I don't know. He doesn't have a background either. How did he get in this relationship? Listen, this is weak. These are weak men. These are weak men who are chasing a sugar box. Maybe they don't have a place to stay. Maybe they're compromised in some way, and they just take this type of disrespect. You can't imagine, Nicole. I can't imagine. I can't imagine that either. I cannot imagine that. I cannot imagine. There's no way in the world Big L would be done with that. What? That's why as a man, you should never move into anyone's house. As a man, you should never move into a woman's house. Never. Oh, this one made me angry. In this man's defense, I would never deal with a woman or a child or her child ever again. But to the guy who was at the restaurant and to this guy, more than likely they don't have any place to live, or they just don't have backbones, or maybe they just so enamored by the sugar box that they just can't do anything else. It's baffling to me how they could deal with that. Baffling. I would rather, not to get all biblical on people, but I would definitely rather live in a shoebox on the side of the road than deal with disrespect where I'm not being respected. And somebody asked me in a question before, what's the most important thing, whether it's respect or love or compassion, what do men want? It's always going to be respect. And these two guys did not exemplify that at all. I already see this could go in a different way and hopefully not news. Exactly. So this teenager will have no respect for him and for anyone else. This is how I saw my mother talk to her man. This is how I saw my aunties talk to their men. and men just got to stand there and take it. Just got to stand there and take it. Get your hat flipped off at restaurants, invite your friends over, invite your friends out to dinner. Crazy. Obviously, this was not a conversation they had prior to getting married. If they're even married, they're probably just living together. And you're right, obviously not. No, she sounds crazy. It's in their home. This is a discussion they should have had before they. Yeah, she did sound crazy. That was definitely crazy. Definitely crazy. Conversations that have happened when a relationship started. He not a boy. Well, she's talking to him like that, and he's taking it. That's even worse. She's talking to him like that, and he's taking it. Never ever tolerate this man. Yes, absolutely, Mamacita. Do not tolerate that. I know he felt low. Of course he did. Of course, you got to jump up. You got to jump up to touch a snake's belly. Yes, she's very emasculated. Yeah, she can make her point without being so masculine about it. What point would that be? Don't talk to my child who's living in my home, who I should have some type of authority over. Of course I'm going to talk to this child. You out here running the street. Who are they going to call to bail you out? Who are they going to call if you get pregnant? I got to say something. It's my responsibility as a semi-parent, responsible adult, to make sure that my household is is functioning well and on time and on schedule, and things are going the way that I want them to go. I definitely have the right to say something. Otherwise, you can't live in my house. I know there are a lot of single mothers, but I don't recommend men marrying single mothers. A good majority of the time, it doesn't work. Right, Blue Sapphire. This is way too much. It's going to build resentment too. Of course. It's how you talk and approach a situation. Okay, exactly. This is the problem with many of our youth today. Yeah, too many of our youth, as they used to say to us back in the days, you guys are all up in grown folk business, right? They stand there having arguments right in front of the guy. Listen, there was a time they used to send the kids outside, go outside and play. We got, we didn't see the parents arguing and talking like that. Now they don't care. They just have an argument right there in the restaurant, right there in the middle of Walmart, right there in the car, just arguing with people, telling people shut up, shut your mouth, do this. Then you wonder why you get your hat flipped off in restaurants. Okay. Then he go cheat and ask why. She ain't gonna ask why. She probably still sleep. Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. It's not beneficial for a man to become a stepfather. I go back and forth with that. I think that it can be. But you got to have the right person and the right dynamic. There's a lot of things you got to talk about. I see a lot of people who praise their stepfathers for stepping up and stepping in. So I'm not going to take that away. I'm not going to take that away from people. If you can find the right dynamic and everything is perfectly aligned with the other family, the other parent, you've had all these different conversations, and she gives you that authority, I think it can work. Well, he definitely needs to run. You're right about that. He needs to be out of there. I would have been like, okay, I got you. I hear you loud and clear. Men need to tell the red pill men that it is men like these that are causing the dynamic of modern women. There's a lot of that. Yeah. There's a lot of that. These weak men who are so emasculated because they're chasing the sugar box. They're chasing. They don't have a place to stay. They're financially compromised. And all that. So those two things keep women acting this way, right? I agree with that. They are in the little apartments. Just think about their poor neighbors. They have to hear all that. Yeah, never. You are correct. Your partner and you never correct your partner in public. If you're not wanting your other half to love and care for the child, then stay single. But he should have vetted her before and ran. He's just shacking. All right, so let me get to some of these questions. Or any questions? Let me get up to. I think Tiffany had a question. Oh, men and women. Can men and women be friends? I think that men and women can be friendly. I'll get to the rest of the comments in a minute here. I want to start getting into some questions because that's what you guys tuned in for. So I think that men and women can be friendly. Now, Now I have a couple of good friends. I have one woman. She calls me my best friend and all that kind of stuff. But I don't go to her house and hang out. She has a boyfriend who was very, very jealous of me for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what that would be, but I think that we can be friendly. We talk on the phone once a month, just to check in, see how people are doing. I'm also friends with her brothers and other sisters. So I think it can be friendly. Uh, but as far as friends, I wouldn't date a woman who had her best friend was a dude, and I mean really, really a best friend. Like y'all hang out together, want to go to movies together. He wants to set up in my house, and y'all going to lunch every other week, every other day, and every Wednesday y'all got a standing lunch date. I wouldn't date a woman like that. I wouldn't date a woman like that. I think that there's too much that could happen, too much jealousy, too much insecurity on either way. I just think that there's just too much that can happen. And I certainly think that most of the time when people are that close, that if they, and this experiment has been done numerous times on YouTube and those street interviews, call your best friend up and ask him to come through and see if he will. The next thing you know, that, it's for a session, a sugar box session. And they're all surprised that their best friend would do that. So I think that you got to keep men very, very close. And that's why I did the video about, staying out of the friend zone. You got to know exactly what's going on, what your, what your relationship dynamic is. So the StreamYard link is there if anybody wants to come up. So I think they can be friendly and, talk every once in a while, but hanging out, going to all the time, I wouldn't tolerate that. I wouldn't tolerate that. Let's see here. Where's her accountability? Craziness. There is no accountability. It's a poor representation of women. We don't act like that. Stacia, I'm telling you, do. These clips got me heated. That part, gosh. Yeah. Let's see, Brent. I don't know why a woman would allow a man to live with her and her children and they're not married. You're teaching your children about men and women relationships in a negative way. I'm trying to tell you. I really do appreciate you guys because you guys have given me a lot of faith back in humanity. But I'm telling you, maybe, and police officers become very, very jaded. But I'm telling you, I saw this every day in my life. Every day of my life, and I see it, sometimes on YouTube and in Facebook and stuff. So this is not out of the realm of reality. So you guys who are like, I don't do this and that, but as far as relationships type stuff, right? We're not doing this. We're not shacking up. We're not. I'm telling you, it's a different world out there. Yeah, well, Bryn, she's definitely teaching her child disrespect. And can you believe some women actually agree? And can you believe some women actually agreed with this woman? It's so dysfunctional, to say the least. There's a lot of women. There's a lot of women who would co-sign the ladies what they were wearing in public at the restaurant. There's a lot of ladies who co-sign the behavior, and it's okay to talk to your man like that. It happens every day and all the time. It's okay, right? It happens all the time. Yeah. Couldn't it be me? Her bags and everyone else would have been packed. No disrespect. If I can't respect a man, he sure will never be a part of my life. A man is to be in charge of his family. But if he's shacking up and expect a woman to respect him, delusional. Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, there's a lot of weak men out here. I'm figuring that out. I thought there were a lot more stronger men, and I got a video coming out, and I'm going to kind of address that, like I said. But it's crazy. Thank you. It's shameful but refreshing because it keeps me on track. Why are you thinking about putting on those hoochie mama shorts? Daisy Dukes. Situation like this could lead to physical abuse. If a guy's not stable, it's mentally stable, like who are you talking to like that? Next thing you know, furniture's moving and faces are getting smacked. It's beneficial for the child and their mother, not the man. Yeah. I mean, only thing he's getting, is what he's getting every so often. But is that worth? That is certainly not worth the headache. Men who working themselves or deal with the pain. I had a great stepfather, and I was taught to respect him. My mother is now deceased, and my stepfather still treats me like he's his biological daughter. Yeah, that's why I don't take that away from people. That's why I don't take that away from people. People can become good stepfathers, and they can really make an impact on people's lives. I still talk to my stepson, right? We're making dates and plans to play video games together and stuff. So it's, you can build a lasting relationship. So you really can. So how about after they've been in a relationship? After it's talking about being in a, I wouldn't do that. Like after a relationship, now you want to just be friends. We can be friendly, but I'm not going to be calling you. There's a different world out here. like what are we talking about? Like the times we used to have, and or my new girlfriend, or here, meet this new person. Hey, let me introduce you to Sally, and here's Jesse. I don't know anybody. I'm just making up these names right now. Here's meet Sally, my old girlfriend I used to sleep with, and we were almost. I don't understand any of that. I don't understand how that frame of thinking works. Um, so it's not something I would deal with. It's not something on my radar. I haven't seen it work. I mean, the best is with my good friend. And like I said, I'm friends with her whole family, right? Friends with her mom and dad. So she would run stuff by me as far as, I'm dating this person. What do I think about this? What do I think about that? We grew up in church together. So but I'm not hanging out at her house. I'm not going over there. She came to see me when I had surgery and stuff, but you know, uh, it's a different place. Big L, that's because he's a man and you are an attractive, intelligent alpha man. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, listen, and this is why I'm trying to help more men to have this alpha male mentality, or at least Sigma. I meant to do a series about that, or an episode about that. That reminds me, I got to get to that. But that definitely. Listen, I don't know. And listen, I told you about how I grew up around, strong deacons at my church and my uncles. And then I joined a very masculine place, the police department. So everybody I've been around with my whole life has just been alphas, just been, just, so to see this kind of stuff, I was like, wow. I mean, you guys really, men out there really putting up with this? I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine that. There was one skit. I don't know if it was a skit or not, but there was a similar to the restaurant. There was like a birthday party skit. I'm not gonna try to find it now. There was a birthday party scene, and it was like maybe like 10 or 11 girls, and it was one girl's birthday, and the girl whose birthday was trying to get her boyfriend or husband to pay for all of her friends and trying to shame them. I think there's a couple of videos like that. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? I'm not paying for all these people. I'm not paying. And if you don't knock it off, I won't pay for you either. I'm not paying for all these people. I agree. I'm always leery of men who have too many female friends. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, that's not happening. No man in his right mind would go for that. Absolutely not. Absolutely. No man in his right mind is going to have, oh, here's my best friend, John. What? Does John live in the state? John, I'm up in the Northeast. John better live in Arizona on the other side. Your best friend. What are we talking about? If a man think that every woman is like that, he should get more manly support, because that's wild. He's got to stand for something. Yeah, he's got to have some strong friends. Somebody's got to tell him, listen, this ain't the way. But I guarantee you, as I started to talk about, his circle must all think like that, right? Your circle is going to influence how you think. That's why a lot of times guys don't want their ladies around women who think like that, because you're going to stuff's going to rub off. Next thing you know, you're going to want to put on these hoochie mama shorts, and you're going to want to do this, and you're going to think it's okay to talk to me like that. And no. We're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with that. All right. I don't see any. You're in Cali. I'm not in Cali. No, I'm not in Cali. I'm in the Northeast. Let's see. I don't see any questions here. All right. So let's. Yes, Big L. They're putting up with this and they get in front of their boys and start talking like red pill men. Big L. They are putting up with this and they get it in front of their boys and start talking. I've heard that. I've heard that these guys are really kind of betas on the back end. And I've heard I did a story on my other channel about there was this lady who was part of the big part of the red pill movement. She was a lady. She is a lady. And she was quitting. And I talked about it. And she said that one of the reasons why she quit was because all the hypocrisy. She's going to different places, all these different podcasts, right? They're flying her out to these different places. And they're talking about don't have baby mamas and this, that, and the other. And meanwhile, their girlfriend's got 2 kids. Or in another podcast he was on, like doing all this stuff, save yourself, be chaste and all this kind of stuff. And then next thing you know, they're like basically having orgies in the back of the podcasting room. And I'm not, and there's been a couple of stories about that. If you know who I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it, but that's she's like, this is crazy, all this stuff. So so let's continue on with this video. So here's the strong independent. We're going to get into some strong independent ladies here. John, that's his name too. Okay, strong independent ladies coming up here.
Can cook, has good nurturing skills, good in bed.
Rewind this just a little bit here.
Who is broke and never.
You don't have to tell her anything. That's the whole point. You don't have to tell her nothing.
Woman who is broke and never been to college but is fine as hell, can cook, has good nurturing skills, good in bed, will always get the better man than the woman who makes hella bread, is hella accomplished, but she is totally out of touch with her womanly side and role. It's women right now making tons of money, A+ credit, business rolling, while you're gone at work all day. Your man is cheating with a woman who's unemployed and makes him feel like a man. When a woman says, oh, they don't want me independent because I don't gotta take his ish. Basically, what she's saying is that if I have my own everything, I can talk to you any kind of way. It means I can have other men. I got my own money, got my own car. That right there should disqualify a woman from being the wifey, the face card. We as women should all be functioning as adults. Money, credit, transportation, housing. That's called being a grown adult.
I was making this.
So she seems to me to be a little bit loud and hood-ish, but I think that the message was on point. Not sure if she was the right person to deliver it, but that's just my opinion as I view her. She's so right. Listen, yeah, so this is something I really am working on getting more ladies to understand, that your accomplishments really don't mean that much. Not that they don't mean anything in perspective of relationship, but what is more important is that you are nurturing, loving, caring, respectful, and those are the things that are going to get and keep a good man. The type of alpha men that we did not see in these videos here. that type of person, right? So those things. And yeah, listen, I certainly want, somebody asked me one time that I only date ladies with master's degrees. I never said anything close to that. So I date anyone. It doesn't, again, your accomplishments don't matter to me. When I was on the dating apps, the people who would accept my advances or, my likes or whatever and match were people who just had them. But I went out to people who didn't have them. I don't care. It didn't matter to me. Is this 6? Who's 6? I don't know who that is. Is that somebody famous? I don't know who that is. I just saw the video. I don't know who that is. Is that her name, 6? I can't disagree with what she said. It's like I can't disagree with what a man likes. It's what he likes. I like what I like. Very good. Yeah. And I think that's important, because a lot of times men are shamed for their preferences, right? If you want a woman who's younger than you, then you're a predator. If you want a woman who's, fit, feminine, friendly, then you're body shaming. Okay, but you have your preferences about height and money, income, and all this. So her name is 6. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. A man's morals are his responsibility. No excuses. He did it. He did not vet her. We agree. And listen, people aren't. I don't think that he did not vet her. I think that he did not vet her because he was compromised. Be compromised, whether financially or compromised as far as he was just chasing one thing. I guarantee the better you are as a man doing financially, the less nonsense you're going to tolerate. You're just not going to tolerate it. You're just not going to tolerate it. You're not going to tolerate it. I'm sure it's probably true of a lady too, but you're not going to tolerate it. Okay, I only had like 2 questions so far. This is your chance to ask me a question. Any questions? I do have a couple more videos in case we got stalled out. But if there's any other questions, or if I missed them as I was scrolling around, please feel free. And the link is in the chat if anybody wants to come up and have a conversation. So otherwise, we will play another video. So this is a lady who went viral a few years ago. I think it was like 2 years ago, who went viral for saying she had nothing to offer a man. This is in line with the previous video we just watched, right? She has nothing to offer a man. Do I watch Love Dorsey? No, I don't. I really don't watch much TV. I don't watch much TV. If I watch a TV, it'll be a movie, something that came on Netflix or Hulu or something like that. Or I watch old reruns of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, stuff that's kind of old. Cause I like to binge watch stuff, right? So I want to watch. I like to do that. So some stuff on Netflix, some old stuff like that on Netflix. Sometimes political thrillers, things like that. House of Cards, until it got all crazy at the end. So I watch that kind of stuff. I don't know, who's doing what and all that kind of stuff now. So I don't watch that stuff. Try being an older woman that have 90% younger men interested. Double standards. So tell me about those standards, if you would. Write them in or whatever. I mean, what standards? And I did a video about dating the younger men. So I mean, what are these young bucks saying? I mean, how are they? Did you get rizzed up in the grocery store, or how'd that go? One day I should do a reaction to that. These guys are actually funny as they go into these stores. So she's on YouTube. 6, okay. Oh, is that 6 the Goddess? Is that her name? 6, or is it just 6? Because I heard of some lady 6 the Goddess. I've never seen. I just heard people in the red space talking about her. So she's on YouTube. Let's see, Glorious Level. Well, my question really was, what do men talk? Oh, okay, yes. Why do men talk out of both sides of the mouth? Why do they say they don't like women who dress a certain way, but go after women who dress that way? Well, as we saw in the video, this man was obviously compromised in some way. So, and that's probably most likely the best he could get. So the other side of that is when you got a better tier man who you may see walking with someone like that, because it's a sugar box session for him. That is pretty much it. I can almost guarantee he's not going to wife her. He's not going to bring her around his family. He's not going to bring her to the cookout. He's not going to introduce her to her boss. He's not going to bring her to, I talk about this often, is that, I was my time in the police department, like we had to mayor's balls, especially when I started becoming a member of the command staff, right? We had to go to the mayor's ball and the dysfunction to, fundraising stuff and, this ceremony for that and all this, all these highfalutin people there. I couldn't have a girl with a tattoo on her neck, showing up or talking all crazy and ratchet and stuff. So I think that the higher you go, your standards are going to be lowered. But they may sleep with these ladies, and ladies really need to understand that dichotomy, right? Just like women have a friend zone, right? Just like a woman has a friend zone, a place where they will put a guy just in case, right? He's going to come over, he's going to cut my grass, he's going to help me move furniture. If I move from one apartment to another apartment, he's going to help. He's going to come in and hang my TV. He's going to come in, and if I got kids, maybe bring them out to ice cream every now and then. And this man has sexual interest in you, romantic interest in you. He does. It. He told you, and you said, no, I don't want this, but I'm going to keep calling you. Take me to the movies every once in a while when I'm bored and all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, she's got her other guy who's doing whatever. So you got to figure out as a man where you stand in that. And so just like a woman has a place where they're going to put you, men have the same place. And this woman is just for fun, period. She's not going with me to the company picnic. She's not she's not getting keys to my house. She's not getting security codes. She's not getting access to my bank account. All she is a session. I'll pay a bill or two maybe, but that's it. Don't ask me to come over and chill out just to watch movies, because that ain't what it is. And if you think, and if a woman thinks that this is going on, and you start thinking that you're the main chick, as that as what was that song by Fabulous, right? You want to try to get from the back seat to the passenger. You will always be in the back seat. You are never going to become the main chick. You will always be, you will never be in the passenger seat. You're always going to be in the back seat. So, and if you think that that's what it is, so this gets confusing to ladies, because they see the guy, they see the, the wholesome woman getting passed over. Well, probably one of the reasons they're probably being passed over is because a guy is compromised in some way. He's not financially secure, or he doesn't have a backbone or spine. He's got a system or network of spineless men. So you see this guy, and he had nice clothes on, right? He had his hat flipped off and all that. I mean, at the end, but he had nice clothes on. So it seems as if, he's driving a nice car. He's got nice clothes on. So maybe he's doing well, and you can't make those associations. What does 401k look like? Does he have any stocks and bonds? Does he have, does he own his own home? Does he, what's his car payment look like? What's his bank account look like? So just because you're making money and you're spending it on these women as you're taking them to restaurants, and you got a bunch of gold around your neck, is not an indicator. I know you all know this. Is not an indicator of financial success. But when you see a guy dressed like this and see him doing that, and you see him chasing after these women and hanging on the bars, and they got him in his car and they're bringing him stuff and they're taking him on vacation, you don't know what their credit card situation looks like. You don't know what their bank account looks like. You don't know what stocks, bonds, retirement funds. You don't know anything about any of that. So, yeah. So it's I don't think it's so much speaking on both sides of their mouth. A lot of times, now, if you see a man who's doing that, who's well-to-do, working a corporate, a lawyer or something like that, who's going out to these types of chicks, then I guarantee, I would almost guarantee you that it's just he don't want to deal with the headache of the headache. He don't want to deal with a real relationship, but he's still looking to have some fun when he's doing what he's got to do. And so those type of women would it's like, you just be there when I call you. Just be there when I call you, and that's what it is. So I hope I answered your question there. Let's see. So Dr. Big L, what about Cersei or Claire from House of Cards? Oh, Claire, I don't remember. Oh, Claire. What about them? I thought they were. Oh, they were powerful women. Is that what you mean? Powerful women. Cersei was a powerful woman, but she was still subject to Robert Baratheon. You've seen that episode where Robert put hands on her, right? Girl, shut your mouth. I'm still the king, right? And no matter how much Claire power that she eventually got, right? She got more powerful as the episodes went on, because whatever was going on. So she got more powerful. Claire did. But still, I forget House Cards, the president. He was the man. He finagled himself into the White House as a House of Representative member. He finagled his way into the White House. So he was still the man, cunning and all that, and he still ran everything. Did he run things by her, have conversations with her? Yeah. So it's nobody's ever saying that, that the accomplishments, degrees and stuff don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. Just the most important thing is that you're still nurturing. And when both Robert Baratheon and when Claire, I can't forget the guy who became president, when they still had their breakdowns and were crying and stuff, when they were going through their emotional time, those women were there emotionally for them. So that's the most important thing. So, and I'm still in charge. When I tell you to do something, even though there was sometimes when Claire didn't want to do some things, she's like, I have something going on. I got this going on. He's like, this is more important. Get it done. And she did it. That's the way it's got to be. I'm the big dog. I'm the big dog in the house. Me. Yes, that's her. Yep. My kids, they're mortified. My kids, they're mortified. What type of women are they? Those are the type of women. They were kind of alpha type of women, but they were still, they were queens and, eventually become presidents and higher powered women. But even Claire, like, she was cheating on this dude and all kind of crazy stuff. Claire. Oh, so was Cersei too, right? She had, what about saying Cersei was cheating on her? Man, she had babies by this other dude, right? And it came out that she actually, deleted one of the babies because she didn't want to give Robert Baratheon a kid. Ooh, man, now you got me thinking these dudes really kind of betas, right? So, so you gotta control your own house. You can't be so out there running the world. And this is one big thing I learned from the church world, right? So I grew up in church, and I became a police officer, right? So I saw, and this is good. We're talking about Cersei and Claire. So if you haven't watched these shows, you got to go back and watch them so you can get context of what we're talking about here. So I saw where the preachers in the church were out there doing whatever they were doing all the time, right? They were traveling the country, preaching from church to church. It's how they made their income, right? But their homes were neglected, and that's why in the church world they would always say preachers' kids are the worst kids, because the preacher, the pastor, whatever, the evangelist, whatever they're called, were out there traveling the world, or traveling the world sometimes, and traveling to the U.S. and neglecting their homes. So we can see the same thing with Robert Baratheon, who was the king in the Game of Thrones. Great swordsman, great warrior, terrible king, worst father, and horrible husband. So you really have to be able to walk that line. So same thing could be said about Claire and whatever his name is. I know, probably in the comment section somewhere. I think she got pregnant once or twice. If you watch House of Cards, she got pregnant once or twice, and they deleted it, because he didn't want it. He don't want to be slowed down. Neither one of them wanted to be slowed down in their careers. So, you got to find that balance. So a guy's he may want that, but there's sacrifices got to be made. And both of those guys who are high-powered individuals, Robert Baratheon and the president there, but their families suffered. Their families suffered. So, and that was one of the reasons. And I started to talk about me becoming a police officer. So, so the connection between the preachers that I saw whose families were dysfunctional, I saw the same thing when I became a police officer. These guys were working overtime all the time. They would get out of work and go to the bar instead of going home, right? So that's why I stayed on the midnight shift, because I grew up without a father. I knew what that was like. So I stayed on the midnight shift. I got home before my kids went to school, got them up, make sure that they got out to school, went to sleep. Sometimes I would go pick them up, or when they got home, I was there. And so that was then I did that for years, because I wanted to be there, because that was important to me. Hope I answered all those questions. We went through House of Cards and Game of Thrones. Love Dorsey's on YouTube. She deals with relationship and a lot of mental health. I've never seen her. I'll have to check her out. Thank you for that. Ratchet, let's see. I would believe that, but I see men who actually marry women like that. The old folks, yeah. You try to turn them into a housewife. And I can remember, I tried to look for this study because I want to talk about it. But I remember when I was going through my psychology program, and when a guy turns about 40, they actually stop acting a fool, for lack of better terms, and they can kind of get themselves together. They stop going to jail, stop smoking drugs, all that kind of stuff, right? And they can actually turn into good husbands. It's not so much for ladies. Not saying that all of them, if they're ratchet at 21, they'll be ratchet at 41. But, well, they probably will be. Statistically, men do better when they hit 40 than women do. So I tried to look for that study because I want to talk about it, but I stopped looking because I was like, I don't want to seem like I'm picking on ladies. But ladies who have had troubled past, 41, even at 61, they're still trying to do whatever, and they just statistically, not all of them, not 100%, all that. So I agree that he was possibly compromised. Men and women who are compromised tolerate disrespect. What's even worse is the number of women, in our age, 51. Yeah, so I just kind of mentioned that. I just kind of talked to that. If a woman doesn't get that really good home training, there's a good chance she'll still be like that at 50 and 60 years old. They just never stop. Where guys statistically stop more, right? They get mad when they ghost her. Yeah, they will get mad. Ladies listening. Let's see. Why do we have to leave this country to find men that respects and protects a woman and her feminine energy? They know what they want and realize the value of a woman and is willing to cherish her. The U.S. is not a good place for marriage. I think we got to just come to that place. I think we have been corrupted and co-opted by financial interests and the ideas of solidarity, the ideas of singleness, individualistic type of thinking. And I think that we've got to come to understand that. So we just think differently, and that's what the passport bros are saying, is that the women here are just not up for it. They're just not up for it. And we saw two examples of that, extreme examples. I agree, and we saw the men who are just not capable of doing it. Right? This is wrong on both sides, men and women. Right? Some men are just not capable of doing it, and so therefore, if you don't stop somebody, they're going to run over you. Right? Appeasement only makes their aggressor more aggressive. So. You said a lot of gems. Thank you. So true. Hey, Dr. Hunter, I saw that church app you posted. Listen, somebody was asking, couple of people were asking me about walking around and doing videos, and I stopped sitting in my car and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't trying to, if I was trying to thirst trap, I would took my shirt off or something like that. I'm not doing that. So totally awesome. Yes. And it's embarrassing. Let's see. I know, right? Clowns. Good thing I could take a joke, right? Frank Underwood. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. And it would definitely would have it would have bothered me the rest of the night, right? Frank Underwood. She was sleeping with her brother. Yeah, Cersei was sleeping with her brother. Yeah. Yeah. Kevin Spacey, Frank Underwood. Yeah. Man, I was so mad at Kevin. I'm like, man, Frank. I want to see how this is gonna end. Great question. Any more questions there? I got another video to play. If not, we'll get to them. Let's see. We could play another video here.
That's called being.
Oh, here we go. Nothing to add. They're not thirst videos, Glorious. They're not thirst videos. It's a picture. It's in the community tab.
Video though.
Women should all be functioning as adults. Money, credit, transportation, housing. That's called being a grown adult.
I was making this video though because I learned a very good lesson about myself this morning, and I wanted to share it. This is not about anyone else. This is just strictly about me. But I feel like if you learn a lesson about yourself and someone else can possibly benefit from it, it's always wise to share, because you just don't know where people are at within their own lives as to what you may be going through, have went through, or are headed into that may possibly shine a light on their own current situation. So the point of me making this live was basically, I realized today that I have nothing to offer a man. Nothing. And I feel like it took me 32 years to realize it, because I just found that out today. So I was today years old when I realized it. And then it took me a lot of pride swallowing to be able to admit it. I'm going to tell you why I feel the way I feel. This is not based off anyone else. This is only based off myself. But I just wanted to share it just in case it may help somebody else. I feel like I don't have anything to offer to a man because a man asked me what I had to offer him. And it was the way he asked that made me realize that I don't. He simply stated, I realize that you're single, but tell me, what would I benefit from having you as my woman? Now, outside of the basics, like, oh, I look nice, I can cook, I work, I didn't have nothing else to offer. And the reason I realized that I didn't is because I got to thinking about myself, and all I've been doing for so many years is just working and taking care of kids. I don't know necessarily what I'm into, so there goes hobbies. I'm not necessarily sure my feminine level of energy, because majority of my relationships, I wore the pants. So how can you, as a woman, offer to be a woman to a man if you've never fully been a woman? I am a woman because I'm a female, but I'm talking about like actually be a woman, like to a man. I've never experienced that, so I don't know what that feels like. So I can't honestly say that I have anything to offer as far as a woman outside of just being a woman. So that means all I really do have to offer is some pussy because I'm a woman and we have one. That's really not enough. I can't honestly say I can offer you a nurturing environment because I'm too frustrated about the children that I have and the lack of help that I have with them. So it's like I can't necessarily be so nurturing to you when I'm frustrated at the amount of nurturing that I'm already doing. So therefore, I know I can't offer you that. I can offer cooking for you, but then to me, it comes at a price, because if you're coming and you're sitting and you're eating my food and you're not providing any of it, I'm a feel away. So now I'm offering you bitterness. That's not anything a man wants. Why would you want a bitter female? Well, I'm bitter because of my own merits. So it's not your job to fix the bitterness. It's my job to fix. As much as I want a man to come to me ready, able to provide, work, and handle himself, I think that me as a female, I need to have my emotions in check, because if a man wants peace, I don't have any, because I'm frustrated. I'm bitter, I'm emotional, I'm upset. So I made this video because today I realized that I don't have anything to offer a man outside of good looks. And I learned that I don't want a man for just his looks. So how can I be so selfish and only offer a bare minimum and expect so much? That is some unfair shit. Now, I don't know about all these other females. Other females may not agree or even feel the way I feel, but I know me. I know the man that I'm looking for and wanting. I'm not even half of him. So the reason that I'm even talking about all of this is because I watched a video that Steve Harvey had a while ago. And what he said was that when you're out looking for a spouse, you should find a person that is a cup that is the same type of cup as you. So if you imagined yourself as a water bottle, and this is 2 Ozarka bottles, if you meet a spouse that is just a cap, and then you're a bottle, when you go into pouring into this person, they're a cap. So that means they can only hold a cap full of what you've poured. Well, if you pour everything you got into them, they've only held a cap full amount. So now it's time for them to pour back into you, and all they have is the cap. But you're still this whole bottle. So you expect this little cap to fill all of you up. That doesn't work. So now I'm realizing I've been walking around feeling like a bottle, but really I'm a cap. And I'm out here looking for bottles, and niggas are shaped like bottles, ain't full of shit. And I have nothing to fill them with. So I'm empty and low, and these men are empty too, and I'm out here mad about it. So I had to take a step back, and I've just learned this. I had to take a step back and look at myself and realize, girl, you don't even have shit to offer. Why you out here mad at these men? So how about you focus on getting you something to offer a man that would be something that they could walk away from you and feel like, you know what, I can't live without her. Because without her, I can't do this, and this, and this. Because I'm telling you, with me, you can get you some attitude. All the bitches got attitude. Well, I got one of them. Nobody wants that. And with me, you can get a baby, because I seem to make those. But all the bitches do that. So what about me is going to be different from this next female? I'm about to take the time and figure that shit out. So I just want to share with y'all that some of us ladies may not necessarily have anything to offer a man, and we don't realize that because we feel like we're a woman and that's enough. But if you want a man to be more than just a nigga, then you gonna kind of have to be more than just a bitch. Okay, that's all. Have a good day.
Y'all got all that? Make sure y'all have a good day. Yes, thank you so much, Jamie. Please hit that like button. Hit that like button. Thoughts. Yes, it did take a lot of courage for her to be this raw. Now contrast that and think about the second video that we watched where the woman was cooking and chewing out the guy, right? And she's at least admitting, I have nothing else, right? I have nothing else to offer somebody, right? If you're coming in, you're eating my food, I'm gonna feel some type of way. So this is why, I advocate for men to be leaders. You got to be stronger than this. You got to be strong. And as long as you are coming in here, taking from these ladies, not pouring into them financially, or, if you go to a woman's house, there's no way I would go to a woman's house. If I'm there every day, let's just say I had a girlfriend and I go over there, 3, 4, 5 times a week and she cooks me food. Listen, I'm cash apping her. I'm dropping money. I don't, that's crazy to me that guys are doing this, right? And so she had to take accountability for herself and look at herself and say, listen, I don't have anything else, right? I'm emotionally hurt. I've been through trauma. I've been, whatever else she had going on. And, she's got to become self-aware to say, I need to do better. And I need to learn what I can offer to a man. And my question is, as I've asked, and I've got videos asking the same question, is what does a man want? What does a man want? Dr. Big L, so what would be proper to say regarding this question? Did I miss the question? Chocolate? Did I miss the question? I think I may have missed your question. This is interesting. She's being honest. Exactly. Come in, folks. Hit this like. At least she's being honest. Go, Jamie. Raise it real quick. This is a shame, but at least she knows mothers of previous generations have failed their daughters. Yes, they have, and this is something that I don't want to seem like I'm picking on it, but there's been a drastic failure. And I'm going to talk about the men failing too. I'm going to talk about the men failing too. But we've done a bad job of raising these ladies. This woman is 32. This was 2 years ago, I think. So she's got to be like 34, 35 now. But she's, taking accountability for herself and saying that, man, I can't tell you how many ladies I've met who can't cook. I'm proud of it. Listen, I don't cook. We can just go out. People put it in the comment section. We just go out to eat. We just order Uber Eats. I gotta be missing something. Trust not too easy to be honest. She did a good job, right? Amen. Gloria. I appreciate her sentiments. That was a lot. I like when people are honest and there's deliverance. I'm not judging because that's none of us are perfect, but it helps us to take accountability. It helps us to take accountability for the things that we see. When we see this type of content, and you have to take a step back and say, you know what? How am I measuring up? Do I have anything to offer to a woman? Do I have anything to offer to a man? How am I showing up? How am I showing up? The video. I'm sorry, New York. I'm sorry. I know that you want me to. What would be the proper to say regarding this question? Please type it out. I'm sorry, I'm missing it. I want to answer your question, but I'm not sure. The video that I just played. How would I answer her about not showing up? If I understand that question, I would say that she's got to do some self-reflection. She's got to, which she's already doing, and ask herself what a man wants. Go to her friends, or in particular, let me be very clear. She got to go to the type of man that she wants. Ask them. Maybe she's impressed with. She goes to her job. Ask those men. Hey, listen, what do men want? What does a man want? Those type of men, because as we saw, there's some men who would just accept anything. So you don't want them. I'm assuming you don't want them. But so what is the type of man that you want? What does the type of man that you want? What do they want? So you got to figure that out from those men, not the beta males that we saw. Once again, I agree with you, Glorious Love. Past generations have failed our daughters and our sons, but as our previous video, Big L gave some grace. Yeah, I definitely gave some grace, but it's time. But we gotta kind of move in a different direction now. So Gen X mothers, yeah. Gen X mothers were the ones that were out working, bossing up. And I got one more last video. I hope that it plays because the other ones are recorded, so that didn't have any issues. But I hope you can hear the sound. But Gen X mothers were out there bossing up. Next thing you know, the daughters can't cook. Madness. Feed the man, keep it clean, a peaceful home, pleasure him, and don't talk to him too much. Listen, these are words to live by. If you don't remember anything else from this live tonight, remember what Morita Edwards said. Feed the man, keep a clean and peaceful home, pleasure him, and don't talk too much. Particularly, when he walks through the house. Chris Rock, to me, is one of the greatest philosophers of all time. Listen, can I get my second foot in the door before you start telling me about your day? Can I get in the house? Can I get something to eat before you start lambasting me with everything that happened? I mean, I gotta get some peace. I just had a rough day. I just got cursed out by the boss. I just, I had to fight for a seat on the train. Can I get my other foot in the door? Gen X mothers were horrible in the 1980s and 90s. They were out working. They were working. They'd be out there being competition to their men. Become a bride of the King Christ. Forgive them and yourself and study Proverbs 31 and become one. Then search for a man to be a representative of your Heavenly Father. It's a hard road. So the Proverbs 31 woman was a woman who worked. Proverbs 31 woman was a woman who worked. Now the guy was doing whatever he was doing. But if you read Proverbs 31, she was at the marketplace. She was making deals. She had her kids squared away. So she wasn't just getting her hair and makeup and nails done all day, sitting back, bringing her friends on lunch dates. She was a woman who was astute, who was smart, right? So don't let anybody tell you that these ladies weren't smart and weren't educated. Nobody said that a woman couldn't be educated, couldn't be smart, and all that kind of stuff, right? We just went over to Cersei Lannister and in Claire Underwood situation, right? So the Proverbs 31 woman was smart. She was educated. She knew about her family's business. She took care of the home. She was out in the marketplace making moves. So, men desire respect. I got one. What's the next thing men need? Well, I need to screenshot this here of what Morietta said. Here you go. That's what it is. Respect. He needs honor and rest. And no more children out of wedlock. Our community has to stop doing that. Yeah. Got it. Thank you. I used to give you a lot of pushback about the hair and cooking, but I'm learning. Yeah. Yeah. I somebody else asked me. Somebody sent me an email the other day, blasting me about the hair thing, man. I'm not going to touch it anymore, but see, this is when we talk about the Gen X thing. Who wrote this here? It's Gen X mothers. You got bad information. Ladies got bad information. And even as the case study that we did tonight of Claire and Cersei, you can still be smart, intelligent, and Proverbs 31 woman. Claire Underwood, Cersei Lannister, Baratheon, and Proverbs 31 woman were all smart ladies on their game, on their grind, but they still knew their place and still knew how to get things done. Their husbands were absent-minded. Husbands weren't doing what they needed to be doing to fully and effectually be in the home and know what's going on. Therefore, they had the complete mess that was going on in two of their lives, Cersei and Claire. But this idea about solely bossing up without understanding how to take care of the home is a mistake. It's a mistake. Let's see. I gotta find out where I was here. Again, if anybody wants to come up, the StreamYard link should be pinned at the top there. You guys can come up. Marriage is a lot of work. Marriage is a lot of work to do. Marriage is a lot of work. Men got to do their part and women do theirs. Absolutely. Everybody has a role to play. I'll add one more thing to Marita's comment. Look presentable when he gets home. As my mom used to say, no man wants to see you dressed like a bag. Yeah, that's important. That's important because this man has been in the office, or maybe he's a construction worker, or he's been on the train and he's seeing beautiful women here and there. He goes to get his Starbucks coffee or whatever he's doing every day, and he's seeing these women, the beautiful women, and he walks in the house and sees you looking like I don't know what. Yeah, you ought to give him something pleasurable to look at when he gets home. Let him know what he got, what he has at home. Absolutely. Presentation matters. Gen X was out in the streets using crack, didn't know what their father was. Not all, though, right? Yeah. She was a blessed woman. She was a blessed woman. Her husband even said so. Wow, I'm happy that she came to herself. She's speaking truth. She could focus on fixing herself before getting into a relationship. Yeah, absolutely. And Big L, and the husband of Proverbs 31 woman was well respected, known in the gates, and wealthy as well. Absolutely. And he didn't have to worry about all this stuff. He didn't have to come home and worry about whatever. He knew what his wife was doing, right? He wasn't worried about her promiscuity. He wasn't worried about, her being at the market flirting with other dudes. And he knew he knew what was going on. He took care of his business. She take care of mine. Absolutely. The cooking, I'm learning too. Listen, that's important, man. I don't know. You're talking about failure, man. I heard that when I was a kid, and I'm not really that old. Maybe to some of you all I am, 51, but it's. I mean, like that was always taught in my church. Like, you know, the best way to a man's stomach is, I mean, the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I mean, so I don't even understand. Those words don't even like register to me. It's like somebody tells me that they don't know how to walk. What do you mean you don't know how to cook? I don't understand what you mean. How do you eat every day? How do you eat every day? People are like surprised when I like, you know, oh, you cook? I live alone. I mean, who's going to cook for me? I got to get it done, right? I'm not going to order every day. It's crazy. Proverbs 31 woman. She was an example of a helpmate, and she feared God. She was a reflection of a single woman, not only of a married woman. Yeah. So I think by being that type of woman, will get you that type of man much faster, or at least a man on your level. Now, that man that we just talked about was rich and well known, right? So you might not get marry the mayor, but you'll get somebody who's good, sound, who's gonna make a good husband, who's got a stronger backbone than the two guys we saw before, right? Gloria says, you ain't never lied. My mom was 90 and she's been married 3 times and divorced twice. Oh yes, those ladies were fresh off the market and so young. Crazy stuff that happened. Absolutely. I'm gonna turn this into a Bible study, I guess, here. Huh? I think that was a lot of my issues. Let's see. Yes, and educated, but also had servants help. In Mexico, I can afford a housekeeper and my handyman full time. I can use my education to rebuild an empire. You have to be smart to support. Absolutely. I am real grateful that you're doing this show today. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're watching. You're a man to be a helpmate. We used to laugh about the Leave Her to Beaver mother and how she dressed in pearls and fine dresses every day. There was something true in that generation. My mother taught us well. Listen, my aunts used to dress like that. My aunts, it was, something happened. Look at. I mean, Leave It to Beaver. Then we got this.
Marvel fans might be surprised.
We went from Leave It to Beaver to this. Where is it at? Oh, wait, here it is. Wait, hold on. Where is it? Oh, I took it down. Sorry, I took it off. It was on a different clip. Belly full. Yep. Belly's full. Cojones empty. My girl Les, that was Generation Xers. They were younger baby boomers, Gen Xers. Women benefited from President Clinton's policies to end welfare and go to college, but send men to prison on the crime bill. Yes, that was definitely true. That was definitely true. Men got prison and women got to go to college. And then look around and say, where are the men at? What happened to all the men? Even before then, right? Even after, it's difficult to put in a word, but even after, after the civil rights movement, COINTELPRO, right after they dismantled the Black Panthers, a lot of those Black Panther ladies got to go to college. Angela Davis and all them. Yeah, some of the dudes did too. Not all of them, got persecuted and went to jail and all that. But they got actually the Black Panther started with them in college, but the persecution that happened to Black men did not happen to Black women, and they got elevated. So, and then when the Clinton stuff came in, yeah, it just got magnified. Absolutely. Now I love a man who can cook as well. Makes for a good date night. Yeah, listen. You could listen to me. It's a good night. You're absolutely right, SR. It's good to have a good date night. You got some music playing. You both are throwing down, making whatever cooking together, making that pound cake, and then taking the pound town. Oh, absolutely. Let me stop here. My mother never cooked only on holidays. She was very career driven, and my aunt used to call her Skippy the little man because she was the boss. Couldn't be me. Sad but true. Big L. Also, to be fair, there's really no excuse not to know how to cook with so many cooking shows and social media cooking platforms. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. I still dress that way. Turns a lot of heads. Never been treated negatively. They they love it, ladies. Find a few sets of matching gloves. I've never seen anybody walk around with gloves. I haven't seen that. So, all right, let me try to play this last one here, and then we'll call it a night. But this is about a boss chick. This is from another one of my favorite aunties. You guys probably watch her. Her name is Dee Dee, and we'll see if we can get this here. Share screen. Let's go to window. Do this one. Share. Give me one if you can hear her. I know, right? Listen, Doc is not dead. Guys, give me one if you could hear what she just said. If you could hear what she just said. Could you guys hear her? She was talking before. I just want to make sure you guys can hear it before I play it. Can't hear it? No. Okay. Oh, Lord. All right. We'll try one more time. Share screen. Also share tab audio. Share. How about now? So this she Dee Dee froze this. This is on Revolt. I guess they've been giving people strikes and not letting it play. You still cannot hear it? All right, I'm gonna try it on a different tab here. Hold on. I apologize. All right, we'll try one more time if we can get it. If we can't, then. So what happened is, I guess they've been giving people strikes, so she's just going to play the audio, but the woman in the middle is going to be speaking, and you're going to hear her aggressive tone. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Okay, try this one more time here. Share screen. Try window. Okay. Can you hear it? Yes or no? One sound. Okay, forget it. I started downloading, recording stuff. I don't know why it doesn't play, so I'm not going to keep struggling with this. So I apologize. So anyway, there was a woman on here. She had extremely aggressive behavior. So she had extremely aggressive behavior. It wasn't muted on my side, so I don't know what's up with that. So anyway, let's see more comments here. East Point, no shade taken. Somebody said something about cooking. I was taught by an early age. By the time I was 8 years old, I was cooking full breakfast for my siblings. By 10, I was able to cook a full turkey and 3 sides for holidays. Sad women can't cook. You have no idea. Yeah, we're all trying to do better. Listen, this is we're all trying to do better. So, and all that. All right, so the panel was open for an hour. We've been on for an hour and 30 minutes. If you have nothing else, that's it for the show. If there's any more questions, it's supposed to be a question and answer period. But I had these videos in case the questions slowed up a little bit. Thank you so much, East Point. I appreciate that. We learned about Cersei Lannister, Proverbs 31 woman, Claire Underwood. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was something I learned when I was in my time in the police department. And I always said to myself, an absent father is an absent father. So you can be a police officer, still be absent. You can be a politician, still be absent. Right. So a lot of these politicians' kids are all over the place too, right? Using drugs all over the place, or a preacher, right? And these are all positive people, right? Preachers, politicians, police officers. Maybe you shouldn't get a job with P's in it, P's at the beginning. And then, or if you get a drug dealer, or somebody who's running the street, just makes no difference. So you really have to be very careful about that. And so you have to be very mindful as a man. And as we saw from Frank Underwood and from Robert Baratheon, you got to control your house. You got to know what's going on. You can't know what's going on all in the streets. As a man, you got to be able to watch it in the home. And if you don't, you'll become an emasculated man, like those 2 videos that we saw about the guy who had his hat flipped off, or the man being emasculated in the very house where he laid his head in front of a little girl. Oh my God, I'm just getting madder thinking about that. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. L. Really do thank you, and everyone here. Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great evening. Yes, absolutely. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow. I got a video dropping about somebody asked me a question about men in uniform. That one's dropping tomorrow morning. So look forward to your questions and comments and all that kind of stuff. Have a great night. I'll see you guys. Take care. Much love and peace.